oss full karate and coffee. Yes, good to go. Right. So, first of all, I have to say one thing. I will say a lot of things, but first of all, um, a person that I know, he told me that he was following the channel, and please do if you like to follow the topics that I'm talking about, and just when you are going to beat to death a little too much time, it could be good to follow something like that, like this. But he told me that you call it full contact and coffee, but you're not drinking a lot of coffee. I think maybe he don't worry about the coffee, but maybe he think that I'm talking too much. But I will try to drink a little bit more coffee as well. This time we will talk about weight categories in the European Championship. And about that, yes, we are changed the weight categories in Shinkyokushin. And around the topic of weight categories, we have some things that always will appear when you're talking about competition in weight categories. So we will enlighten a little bit around that, and yeah, look into how things may happen in the upcoming European Championship. Upcoming, it's in May in Spain. And yeah, last time we had the European Championship in Spain from the Shinkyokushin was in 2010 in Logroño. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but yeah, we had a good European Championship. I remember it. So it will be interesting to see how this will turn out. Well, first of all, WKO or Shinkyokushin have changed the weight categories and in the European Championship. And the point is that the weight categories in the European Championship will be similar like the weight categories in the World Championship in weight categories. And this is more easy when it comes to qualifying, for example, of course. But behind this, this is a little bit of the political aspect, of course. If you're a nation with maybe the population have not so many with a high weight categories, you will try to keep it in the lower weight categories. And if you are a region with fighters in a wider spectrum, you will try to stretch it out and maybe add some weight categories. And this is all like tactical use of the weight and categories from my point of view. Now we have 5 weight categories in the women's division in the European Championship, and also 5 in the men's category. But the changes is not so big actually. But the European Championship last year, 2023, we had all the World Championship, and we talked a lot about that. But we can see now that already the tournament is in 24th and 25th May, I think, and we have team registered already. Already we have team registered for the European Championship in May. So the interest are quite high. And last year we had all the World Championships, and what we did see is that more and more World Championship are being held as a full-scale tournament from the old masters plus 40 years or something like that, and down to children. And not in every case, but we see that it's coming more and more, and they are eating up the open tournaments. So we can see that the European tournaments now are taking over more and more. I don't know how many European tournaments we'll have this year. Probably more than World Championship last year, so we will maybe look at 15 or something like that. And also someone quite small that they almost are impossible to know about if you're not in the organization. So, but anyway, the weight categories from men, and yeah, it's also to notice that this European Championship in Shinkyokushin in Spain, they are taking the juniors are coming in. The juniors are coming in. Not every category, but under 18. Last year's juniors, and this is what we had for some year back. I think it was 2017 or 2018 was the last time we had juniors coming in and had their own categories in the European Championship. And after that, they were separated. So the juniors and youth categories was one tournament, and the seniors had another European Championship. For me, that was a very good way to separate it, because you will have all the focus coming into the junior categories. Sorry, you will have all the focus. When you have juniors together with the adults, it is a possibility that the adults will steal the fame a little bit more. So I felt that when we have a junior European Championship, I felt that was a good decision to separate it. But anyway, positive things about it is that you have juniors can be a more part of the team and travel with the seniors. That is a positive thing. So they will travel as a team, seniors and juniors together, and be a part of that. And it's good to see how this will end up, because they are going to be seniors quite soon. So that will be a positive thing, I think. So it's always two sides of a case, maybe more. So okay. But the weight categories that we will talk about. Now we have the weight categories in men. And this is no strange categories for those of you who have been in tournaments for a little while. Now we have minus 60, minus 70, minus 80, minus 90, and plus 90. So for the European Championship, now the minus 60 are being on the lower category. So yeah, that is always someone ending up in the squeeze in the between of the categories. But this is a setup that, like, we have seen it many times. Many nations have this weight category already, so I don't think the change will be large. But in the women's division, we have a little bit more to follow when it comes to the weight categories. The lightest category is minus 50, and we are not unfamiliar with that. And from minus 50, we have what it stands in the invitation: minus 50 to minus 54, minus 54 to 59, and 59 to minus 65, and plus 65 from the women's category. And yeah, that is how it's going to be. As I said, as always, someone will end up in the squeeze. Should I go up? Should I go down? And from a spectator point of view, this is interesting because now we are used to see these guys are going in that category fighting each other, and maybe they have been fighting each other more than one time, so we have seen them square up several times. Now we can, with new weight categories, we can have some changes of this. Someone is going down, someone is going up, and we can have new categories, new fighters in facing each other that used to be separated by the category. So that could be an interesting thing. So theoretically, you will have possibility if you can have a reigning European Championship in one category can actually meet a reigning European Championship in a category above or under if one of them changes. So that could be some cool setups, you know. But it depends then. All right. So uh, when it comes to ending up in the squeeze, when you're doing a sport with um, weight categories, is always, and especially martial arts related. I don't think it's weight category in so many other sports, but especially when you have martial arts and full contact arts, especially. Uh, Weight cutting are being discussed every, yeah, far as you can see, and we have so many different way of coming into that topic and this different point of views. So, and it has so many factors coming into that discussion. But personally, you have to be you have to be really careful by weight cutting. Personally, I'm not a fan of weight cutting at all. Weight control, yes. So you will have a healthy relationship to what you're eating and drinking, and that will make you strong. You will give the body the right fuel all the time. You're not going hungry. And last time I was talking a little bit about this with some of our friends. As we said, like I like to think it's a healthy point of view. If you're a fighter, if you notice that the fight is more about making the weight than actually going into the tournament. If you're feeling a little bit on that in that direction, I mean it's wrong, because then it's taking up too much of your focus. And probably you're going around hungry and you're not fully recovered after training, because you're only draining, and the body is not, yes, control like you're fit, but not go and starve for a long time. And when you're doing hard training as well, you have to fuel. You have to have the right fuel, and you have to have the right amount of fuel in your body. And especially if you're a younger athlete, don't cut weight. I don't, from my point of view, don't cut weight. It's naturally for you to grow, and then you are training hard as well, and your muscle mass will grow, and you will put on weight. That's a natural thing, a natural good thing. So that means that you have to welcome it. You have to welcome it, and if you feel that, yeah, but I'm the smallest person in the weight category. Well, maybe you should give it some time. Maybe that's a solution. So you can gain weight slowly but sure. Maybe don't going into the absolute toughest tournament if you're feeling that the lack of size are doing too much. So I think it's all about thinking in the longer perspective. And you should also feel a little bit when if you're draining yourself and you're starving yourself. Feel a little bit of, for example, about how your legs are absorbing the low kicks, for example. Feel a little bit about the difference when you are in tip-top shape, when you're not starving yourself to make the weight. Feel how they are absorbing the low kicks and the body punches as well. Vice versa when you're drained for energy and drained for fluid and everything. So, but I know this is a hot like a topic that many will discuss, but I'm just sharing what my point of view. So this is right for me. If you have another version that it worked for you, well, it's your responsibility if you're a coach. and it's also a responsibility as fighters by themselves. But one thing you have to be aware of, if you're talking about weight cutting, don't compare yourself or your fighters to anyone. That's a common mistake, I have to say. Last a little while back, I was talking about this, and the person I was talking about, a friend of mine, uh, he was referring to what a person had done on the social media. Yeah, he's going in a fight and he has cut about almost 20 pounds, like 10 kilos. And I said, 10 kilos? That's okay. Wow, that's too much. I said, but things for me to ask that is giving me a point of view is okay. But in which weight category is this guy fighting? Yeah, he's in the heaviest category. Okay, that's one thing. So if a guy in, like, if he weighs 120 kilos and cut like 10 kilos, the possibility for him is quite that he has something extra to cut. 10 kilos is maybe not so much. But if you are 75 and thinking about doing the same number of weight, the 10 kilos, if you're 75, you're hurting yourself. Most probably you're hurting yourself. So you must not compare yourself blindly to only the numbers. That you must not do that. And also, when I knew the name of the fighter and said, but this is a mixed martial art guy, isn't it? Yes, it was a mixed martial art guy. Yes, but are you aware of one thing, that he is doing the weigh-in 1 week before the fight? 1 week before the fight, and he has a medical team around him. Do you have a medical team around you? Do you have 1 week to make the weight? No, probably not. So this is also factors that you have to put in, and on top of that, you don't know what this person are doing. You see him cutting the weight, and many times I've seen like inspiration videos. They are training so hard, cutting weight. Oh, yes, but we don't know what he has been doing when the camera is off. So you have to have your own opinion. You have to have your own safe way to stay healthy. That is what it's all about. So controlling the weight, yes, maybe dodging the weight, if a little bit only dodging the weight, but you have no problem doing it. That will be, I think it's okay, but not, the fight should not be about the weight. The fight should be on the tatami. And I'm quite strict on this one, because I've seen people pushing it too far. In a European Championship some year back, after registration with our own fighters, we're coming up to my room on the hotel. In the corridor to my room, it was one team with a lot of clothes, training insanely hard, running, doing burpees and all that kind of stuff. And I first thought, okay, what are these? They're going to fight tomorrow. But I quite quick realized that no, this is about the weight cutting. And I could see straight through their head. A couple of them, the eyes was dead. They were, and the lip was white, completely dry. And I thought, no, this is not good at all. And I was going around the corner, and only a few doors to my room. Then we have one of the fighter actually was laying on the floor. He had passed out, and a couple of friends of him were having a glass of water. They were taking water from the glass and tried to wake him up. I know who this fighter is, and I know the team. He didn't make it to the tournament the day after. So, and the rest of the team, again, if you love your body, be nice to it. And think about this on a longer perspective. And in many cases now, you have weight categories tournament you can go into. Yes, the open weight is another story, and you have to evaluate that, of course. But I have been on the tatami myself, and I know how the feeling is when you are facing larger guys and you feel that you can give them the strongest punch, but they don't matter. I know the frustration, and I know the will to cut weight, to try it out, being the biggest one. But it doesn't give you the effort on site. And if you're going to do this for a long time, we're talking about your heart and everything, so be careful of that. Well, that is a lot about weight cutting. I'm quite strict on that, as I said. So, but we will enjoy the new weight categories, and I hope that we will have some changes in the weight categories. So some are going up and down, so we will see new fights. That will be really interesting. And this weekend, as we speak, I made a post on it as well. The Sweden national tournament are going, and we have some great fighters there. You can watch them fight live, so that will be cool. And tomorrow I will make a post of that. You can see some links and thing on the Haukist Facebook. We have the Lithuanian nationals. Yes, and I've seen the lineup, the weight categories, and we have some heavy hitters there to to square off. We have actually some of the top fighters of the world going up each other in a national tournament, so that will be also cool. It's possible to watch that live as well. So okay, anyway, so train healthy and staying healthy. Make good choices when it comes to weight. Think about the day tomorrow, not only the day today. Think about it on a longer perspective, and feel the strength when you are healthy. Don't go and starve if you have a possibility to recharge as good as possible. So that is my my advice. But the bottom line, it's your choice, but it's also your responsibility. Right, so yeah, a little bit more coffee drinking this time. I try to learn as well. See you around, spread the word if it's interesting. If not, do what you want.